All right, Shalom. I want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makakodash. I would like to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. These are the men that taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and peace and blessings onto the elect. Okay, this is going to be a response video to the lesson that the elder Yashawamba did, and also the Apostle Gabar land-backed off of the lesson that the elder Yashawamba did, entitled "The 2/3 will come back in the kingdom through the elect." That's the name of the elder Yashawamba video that I'm on, that I'm doing pretty much a response to, or land back, or Lord willing, adding to the spirit. You know, I want to bring out some scriptures and make a few points to hopefully, Lord willing, add on to the lessons that they went into. And Apostle Gabar, his video was named, I believe it was "What? There Will Be No Babies in the Kingdom." Okay, I believe that's the name, the title, okay, of the video. And I'm roughly paraphrasing if that's not the exact title. So, yeah, I'm going to get straight into it. And once again, Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying. So what I want to do, well, okay, that guy by the name of Batista Simeon left a comment on, I believe it's the brother Kadar Shapat, I believe, left a comment on a lesson that he did, okay? And that's what the elder Yashawamba, he had, his lesson was based off of that. And his comment was, the guy Batista Simeon, his comment was, "Show me where people are going to come back in the kingdom as newborn babies. What scripture is that?" And a lot of these guys, you know, they looking for one scripture to encapsulate their answer. And the scriptures don't work like that. According to Isaiah, what is that? Isaiah, the 28th chapter, starting around the 9th verse, maybe the 8th or the 9th verse, it tell you that the Most High is going to impart wisdom and knowledge onto those that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. I'm roughly paraphrasing. I could pull it up, but I'm gonna paraphrase it for the sake of time. And it says, "Line must be upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little." Now I roughly paraphrase that those verses. Okay, so that's how you break the script, a topic down, or a point that you're trying to make. You break it down like that. Now, in some cases, you can bring out, in a lot of cases, you can bring out one scripture that will answer a question or address a topic. But if you really want to go into it and bring life to that particular topic or question, you have to bring out multiple scriptures, okay, to make that point, okay, to answer that question, okay. And once again, he says, "Show me where people are going to come back in the kingdom as newborn babies. What scripture is that?" And it ain't one scripture. Well, you can go to one scripture, but to really edify that, answer that question with edification, you bring out more than one scripture. So let me go ahead. I've done enough talking, Salakia, but I felt it necessary to say those things. This is Matthew. Let me go ahead and get into the scripture. This is Matthew 19:27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, the him is Yahushua, "Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?" Now let's go into that word forsaken real quick.
Strong's G, H63. Afia me. fear me.
Okay, you heard it. So that word forsaken means to send away. And I'm not going to read all of them. I'm going to just read some of them. It says to bid going away or depart. Of a husband divorcing his wife. To send forth, yield up, to expire, to let go, let alone, let be, to disregard, to leave, not to discuss. So basically, when going back to this verse, right here, then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? So forsaken don't mean you just relinquish your responsibility to a woman or your wife if you have one, and your children if you have children. Okay, and I'll leave it at that. It's really talking about your focus, where mainly it's talking about your focus, because you're not going to be able to be father of the year and husband of the year. Okay, this great, wonderful husband that's spending all his time with his woman and his kids, okay, and his family, when you come to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Your focus is going to be on doing the work. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay, so you're not going to have the time, that delegated time for your woman and your children and your family. Okay, your so-called family. Because your true family is really the men that you're teaching with. Okay? So when it says forsake that, in some cases, yeah, some brothers will have to physically leave off from their woman and children, or have done that, whether they became a distraction or whatever the circumstance was, in order to teach this word, to push this word out. Okay? In some cases, with a lot of cases, you have brothers that have a woman and have children and they live together, but their focus is on this truth, teaching the word. So they don't have all this time to put into their woman and to their children. So that's what this scripture is talking about. Okay? And Peter was saying, this is what Peter was saying. Okay? His whole mind frame, his focus was on teaching the word. The leader of the ministry. Okay? So he wasn't there to be that father that he gave a lot of time to his kids. Okay? And his woman, his wife. Okay? That's what it's really going into. And then Matthew 19:28, it says, and Yahweh, and the reason I'm bringing it out, because I'm going to make a point about that in just a minute. So keep that in mind. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, okay, follow me, meaning you've put your life aside, because, okay, of what typically what we was, if everything was in its right order, what we would be doing, which is, yeah, we would be into our woman, spending time with our woman and our children, okay? But that's not the time that we're living in. The time we're living in is to follow Yahushua, okay? Get into these scriptures and teach the word, okay? It says in the regeneration, and if you look up the word regeneration, it means back in the seed. Re means back, and then generation goes back to the word gene, which means seed, okay? So back in the seed or the sperm, okay? It says, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that has forsaken houses, okay, and that's what, if you are teaching his word, that's what it's going to take for your focus to be in this truth, okay, and teaching his word. And I can tell you, this is just a quick personal testimony. I have a woman and I have kids, and I don't see my kids. That's just not to go all into the details, but I rarely see them. And even when I do have my kid around or kids around me, I don't have much time for them. Okay. Now I would like to, do that, but I know what time we in. Same thing for, the woman that I'm with. She don't get much time. Because my time is between working for this man and teaching and being a part of the ministry to push forth this word. Okay, I don't have much time to get into the family life, So it says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother, that's something we gonna get to enjoy in the kingdom, man. Really being able to enjoy your family in righteousness, man. Enjoy our people, the Israelites as a whole in righteousness. We gonna get to enjoy them in the kingdom, man. Now, it is just not that time. It says, or mother, or wife, or children. And I want to focus on children because that's what the guy, Batista Simeon, the question that he asked, show me where people are going to come back in the kingdom as newborn babies. It says, or children, or lands for my name's sake shall receive. So if you have basically made those things secondary, okay, in your life, and you've put this truth as your primary focus, this is going to be our reward in the kingdom, It says, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So the focal point is the children. That's one. It says 100-fold of children in the kingdom. And those children are going to be the 2/3 that die on this side. Those are going to be the children that come back. Now, yes, there will be a lot of children that are delivered. Okay, but the scriptures say 100-fold. Not even one brother don't even have 100. Name me a person on this earth or in the history that had 100 children. And this is talking about 100-fold. So that's really thousands of children, many children. Okay. So even the brothers, okay, that are delivered, and then the Most High have mercy to deliver their children, the ones that's in the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to be delivered. More children, way more children are gonna come back in the kingdom. Okay? And I believe in the book of Sirach, the 25th chapter, it says the number one joy of a man is to have a man that has joy, or makes a man happy, is to have joy with his children, or really with your sons and your daughters. Okay? And we're not getting that on this side. You're not getting true enjoyment with them, especially like the script we're reading right now. If you are focused on teaching his word, you don't got time to get all into your kids. You want to. You get your little pockets of time where you spend time and you do things, but the majority of your time and focus is on this ministry, teaching the word. Okay? So like I said, a lot of children are going to be delivered, but it's going to be many. We're going to get to enjoy many. We talking about thousands of your children in the kingdom. Thus say the scripture that I'm reading. And those children are going to be the wicked Israelites, okay, that died on this side coming back. And I'm going to prove that with a couple of scriptures, and then I'm going to close this video out. Okay? So I'm actually on a break. On a break at work right now. But this lesson has to get done. All right, so this is really could start at verse 6. This is Genesis chapter 17, verse 6. This is concerning Abraham. As we're going to read, it says, and I will make thee exceeding fruitful. The scripture even talk about us being fruitful and multiplying. So we're going to be fruitful and multiply in the kingdom. Okay? And then the fruit that we bear are going to be the Israelites that didn't make it on this side. Okay? The wicked Israelites that didn't make it. Okay, it says, and I will make make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, that's Israel, for an everlasting possession. And we're not in the land right now. So the kingdom, we're going to have the land. And we're going to have this whole planet Earth. It says, I will be their God, and I will be their God, or their power. It says, and the Most High said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. Now let's jump down to where it talks about the covenant being made with Isaac. Okay. All right. This is Genesis 17:19. It says, and the Most High said unto Sarah thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And so we're going to get the land, our homeland, Israel, and we're going to get all the blessings that Genesis, the 28th chapter, starting at the first verse to I believe around the 13th verse. Okay, we're going to get those blessings. Okay, now from there, and mind you, what I just read, it said that those blessings, okay, that covenant, which inside the covenant, what are we going to receive? You know, we're going to receive, like the scripture said, we're going to receive the land for everlasting possession. Okay, and we're going to receive the blessings. All the blessings that in Deuteronomy 28, starting at verse 1 to about the 13th verse, I believe. And why? Why will we get those blessings? Because we're going to keep the law perfect. But if we broke the law, then we will receive the curses. Everything from the 15th verse of Deuteronomy 28 all the way to the 68th verse. But since we're going to get the laws programmed in us, okay, then we're going to receive the reward that we were supposed to receive. And not just us, but our children. Okay? And those children are going to be the 2/3 coming back as newborn babies. Because the Most High made a promise, as I just read in Genesis, the 17th chapter, that this was going to be a promise or an agreement, you know, a covenant unto Abraham, Isaac, and even Jacob in Israel, as I'm going to read right here in Psalms 105. So this is Psalms 105. I'm going to get straight to the point. Okay, so let me start right here. It says, this Psalms 105 in verse 8, it says, he hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. Okay, it says, which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, an agreement that we're going to get the blessings. Okay, we're going to get the reward of being righteous. Okay, from being righteous, which is we're going to inhabit, we're going to get lordship over this whole planet Earth, and we're going to get the chosen land, the land of Israel, as our possession, and we're going to enjoy this world, okay? We're going to enjoy our children, we're going to enjoy our women, and we're going to do it all in righteousness, okay? So how, if the 2/3 just die, okay, and don't come back, because that's his argument, was that the 2/3 is wicked, they just going to die, and they're just going to die and in the lake of fire, and that's it. Well, how are they going to get the promises if that's so? Okay, the Most High made a promise. And like the elder Yashawama brought out, according to Romans, the 11th chapter, I believe the 27th verse, I could be wrong on that, but the scriptures say all Israel should be saved. Okay? How all Israel going to be saved? Through the ones that die on this side coming back in the kingdom as newborn babies. Let me see if there any more in this. It says, verse 11, Psalm 105:11, saying, unto thee I will give thee the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. And I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to wrap it up right here. So, Lord willing, you got the point that I was trying to make, is that, you know, I started off in Matthew, the 19th chapter, where it say those that forsaken children, amongst other things, it listed off, to follow Yahushua would get 100-fold in the kingdom. And then I went to where the Most High made, in Genesis, the 17th chapter, where the Most High made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and his seed onto 1,000 generations, that they were going to receive the land of Canaan and also the blessings. Okay? He made an agreement. The Most High ain't going to break his contract. And then I just went to this scripture as a precept to go further into what was said in Genesis, the 17th chapter. So all of Israel is going to receive that blessing. And the Most High promised it to him. So, but on the time we're living in now, a lot of the Israelites are going to die. Okay? But they're going to get that blessing when they come back in the kingdom, and they're going to come back as children. Okay? The Most High not just, he could if he wanted to, just to bring them back, just to manifest all those spirits. But that's not the way it's going to happen. Okay? So, you know, with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and exhorting to the spirit. And once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the spirit. Peace and blessings unto the elect. Shalom.